That's what they take away.
We don't even operate as committees. These aren't. There are many.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and start with approval of the minutes. Nobody hasn't read them. I've got a copy of them I can pass around to those on the committee real quick. But I'd like to see if we can get a motion to approve. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Sure. No, I just was telling her, Shelley. Second, sorry. She was looking down to figure out who it was.
Yeah, I heard your voice and I didn't know.
Trying to help out, that's all.
I didn't use my teacher voice.
See, that's the whole problem right there, you know? Okay, so after, so we've got to do a vote on that, so all in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda, and thankfully this is a quick one, I think, except maybe the discussion, we'll see. I probably shouldn't have said that. That's my fault. I apologize. I will run a more efficient meeting for Mr. Reedy and not do that going forward. Okay, so we're here to talk about courthouse security and scanners. Now, I know Graham sent out a pretty good email with regard to this recently, kind of explaining an overview, which I'm going to try to summarize fairly quickly. So we know we're looking at courthouse renovations. Part of what is not included in courthouse renovations is security changes, in particular getting down to single point entry. Why would we want to do that? Well, if we do, then we can make sure that we have body scanners so we can check for guns and knives coming in that don't need to be coming in. We can also check for any carry-ons, and we have an x-ray machine. We can also have a wand if the metal detector goes off and we don't know what it is. We can scan for it. So really basics, in my opinion. Right now, I think everyone in here knows, it's a commissioner anyway. If you wanted to avoid anything, you just go in the basement, go straight up to the courthouse, which is great, but it's also a point of entry that you can be a little concerned about if you're in law enforcement. So I think it's a whole lot better for us to have the single point of entry. But as you all know, because you've all been in the courthouse and you see, is the x-ray machine ever working? Is body scanner ever working? Nope. Because it's broken. Both are. So we don't use those. So we want to change that. Another thing is, Mr. Graham's email that came out to us stated that there are other things we want to look at, like card security, so that, again, you could still use basement access and other doors, but you could only do it if you're a county employee and you have access to those areas, so it would still be secured. We also have other problems. We know we've gotten the doors changed around, except that we really can't use them all safely because there is not as soon as you exit, it's an immediate drop-off. You don't have a stoop there, raised to the floor level, so we have to look at that. Those are things that are not included in the courthouse renovations, largely. Security is not included there, like the scanners are not. Card access systems are not included in that. We've still got to get push bars on the doors so we can leave those in use on the what we really consider the main floor of the courthouse. So there are a lot of additions. The ones that I wanted to give an overview of it before delving into why we're actually here. We're looking at the fact that we're getting closer to doing these things. We would like to be able to have the scanner, body scanner working, or metal detector, however you want to look at that, whatever you want to call it, and have the a wand available, and obviously to be able to do the x-ray machine, run packages, briefcases, whatever through those. Now, those prices will go up around the first of the year. We've already done due diligence. We've already gotten quotes. We've already asked what's going to happen, and we're looking at if we don't do something now, which we have two different quotes, same vendor, multiple products that combine those three things that go anywhere from $40,000 to $45,000 plus taxes if we're required to pay taxes on that. I'm not entirely certain. Nope. Okay, good. So, but still, we're looking at $40,000 to $45,000. That includes both the hardware and training on them and setup issues, because obviously there are different things you can set up. The scanners that you walk through, the body scanners, if you want to call them that, are actually rather nice. Just key things that are really cool is, you're used to normally you walk through and, you know, what happens? It goes off and it's your belt buckle or whatever. First off, these are supposed to be really good at not detecting that. They're supposed to detect the bigger things like the knives and the guns and all that, but according to the documentation that Mr. Purvis provided to me, that's, you know, minimal false alarms on that. The other nice part is on it is that, you know, as the person walks through, the officer on the other side gets to look at light bars along the edge and figure out in what general area of that person's body is the metal being detected, so that they're not having to search all of you. They can go, there's something right in this area and I need to check on it. So if we're gonna do it, let's at least try to do this right, and that's what we've been looking at, is trying to find something that, I say we, because I'm on law enforcement, not because I've done the work, that's Mr. Purvis, but I wanna make it clear that we're just looking at trying to go ahead and get ahead of some of these cost increases, because we're looking at $5,000 to $10,000 easily additional costs after the first year, was kind of the way I looked at it.
30%?
Yeah, up to, that was part of the thing, and I think you only had one of them that they gave you the additional cost, the other one didn't quite get back to us yet with what the increase could potentially be. So we're looking at relatively significant cost increase. I mean, you could be up to, you know, over $10,000 additional cost easily by the time we're done, if we're waiting till the, you know, later in the year, even February or something. So I'm trying to see if this committee is interested in going ahead and doing step one of the security. We still can't lock everything down until we deal with some push bars for security access and possibly a card access system, which would make it a lot easier on employees. But this is one of those steps that we have to do. At least we could, you know, during certain times, we could probably cut off elevators or restrict them, and we could have people going through one door. And at least for people going upstairs, that would allow us to provide some security for circuit court general sessions, you know, our courtroom as we tend to think of it. So I think it would be beneficial to consider this. That's what we're here for today. So I'm curious if there would be anyone who'd be interested on the committee to make a motion that we would go ahead and purchase these these items, these secured items, which would be out of the general fund at this point. But I'm thinking of saving the cost, because we're gonna end up buying this. I'm just looking at, can we get it less today than what we're gonna pay for it in 6 months to a year?
Again,
Yes, ma'am.
what's the total cost on the equipment?
We've got two different quotes we choose from, either $40,000 or $45,000. $40,000 or $45,000.
And that would be the,
Option.
One was 47 and one was 30.
Last one I saw was $40 for the.
From one vendor.
I don't have
I
any
can pull-
printed material,
I
my
can-
printer's broke, I'm sorry, but I do have. Yeah, he's got the quotes, I think.
It's out for bid.
Yeah.
We expected to put it out for bid because it's over 15,000.
Yeah, so it's the same vendor that Murray County used on their new court complex. It's two different packages. One package was about 47, if I remember right, and the other package was about $10,000.
$39,547 was one of them. The other was 45,382.
45 and 39.
and that covers one door, one entry?
No, that covers the body scanner, the X-ray scanner, and a wand. That's what that covers.
For one entry.
And training,
That's all you
and
got.
Correct, for one entry. That is correct. Yes, sir.
How long are these expected to last before needing to be replaced?
That was the difference, if I remember right. The more expensive one, I think, has a little more longevity, or is supposed to.
Yeah, but the warranty period, I believe, was 5 years. It depended on what, and that was part of the difference in the quote, is if we wanted, you could extend for 5 years for the warranty period. So the difference was optional for extending to 5 years.
Yeah, the machines up there now, Murray County gave us, I'm guessing, about 20 years ago. And of course, they worked when I got them, they don't work any longer. And I'll be honest, I'm not a technical person, so I defer to Mr. Hopkins about the computer pieces of it and how those things work. You know, I would imagine, just guess, I would say 10 years probably end of life. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I think you'll be able to get warranty easily through 5 years, and you could probably still get it repaired beyond that, but warranty up to the 5 years. After that, we'll see, but I would expect you get another 5 years life out of it. But beyond that, I wouldn't expect any.
What the packages are, it's a walkthrough body scanner, a bag scanner, if you will, versus backpacks, and then the handheld. We have handheld wands up there now, but this wand, the cheapest part of the piece, but the wand integrates with the machines.
Yes, ma'am.
One entry means, somebody's gonna have to climb steps, and you cannot shut the public out from using that basement.
I'm not trying to, and I said shutting it down sometimes, which depends on what we need. I'm not saying shut it down, I'm not trying to keep the public out in any way, shape, or form.
I'm not accusing you, I'm saying that has to happen, you have to have access for people who cannot climb the steps.
Yes, but that also means we could have, if we had to, you could have an officer upstairs and an officer down in the elevator. My point is, we could at least wand them with the ones we have now. But the point is, we could at least be somewhat secure. And as I've already said, we still have to have other things done, such as being able to have push bars on the doors before we can ever actually shut things down, because we can't do that right now because of limitations of access and, fire code restrictions and all that. We're just trying to get a step towards it, because we know some of that stuff's going to be addressed and dealt with during the renovation, should we end up approving that. That's still, should we. And I apologize, but I need to stop and allow the public to comment, because I should have done it at the front, and I apologize for not doing it. Anybody from the public want to make a comment on this? Yes, ma'am.
You had said there would be a scanner downstairs to allow,
I said we could do a wand scanner downstairs.
no, I meant the card access.
We would like to, yes. We're not talking about that at this time. I was
Okay.
overviewing security shortfalls that we need to address.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Just question, you told me at the meeting in Ardmore that you could go out any other door. Is that right?
When the door renovation thing is complete, those will be there'll be exit doors in case of emergency, but you won't be able to get in those doors.
Okay, what will stop somebody, say I was going out, somebody come up the steps, grab the door and come on in? You can't prevent that.
Well, so they're supposed to be like the fire alarm doors, they're only to be used in emergency. But no, I couldn't prevent that. If somebody chose to go out one of those doors and somebody else was there and held it open.
You can put an alarm on the door so
Yeah,
that when it's
fire alarm.
open.
Yes, sir.
So is there video recording of and monitoring of those other doors?
There is video in the courthouse. It's monitored, not at all times currently. Just to give you guys some background, in 2006, the state mandated sheriffs provide, so courthouse security's always been the sheriff's responsibility, but in 2006 they mandated courtroom security, the addition of that. And that's how we got the court security guys that we have now. Before that, there were no deputies stationed at the courthouse before 2006. The Marshal Service at that time came and did an assessment on our current courthouse, a security assessment. And the Marshal Service at that time said it would take between 8 and 12 deputies to properly secure that building, because it's so porous. It's got so many entrances and exits, and then you got to account for days off and vacations and whatever. We're doing it with 4. Sometimes 3, sometimes 2, because of sick days and vacations and whatever. And really all we're doing now is courtroom security. I mean, that's the mandate, and that's all we're doing. That's the bare minimum. The securing of the entrances and exits and the magnetometer and scanner, will allow us to funnel people through one. So in theory, if you've gotten past the scanner, much like the airports, if you've gotten past the scanner, you're free to go wherever, because you in theory are weaponless. As it is right now, the scanner's not functioning, and there's 8 ways to get in the building. Did I answer the question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I was just curious how sensitive the metal detectors are. What about hip replacements, like a Titanic hip?
I'm full
Like
of
any of
metal.
them.
I got metal in my knee, my hand, and my back,
Yeah.
and,
Yes, that, you're still gonna get caught, okay? But you're still getting wanted, but what it's supposed to be able to do from reading being the geek and reading the tech documents is the usual things like belt buckle, metal heels in your, in boots, 'cause I wear boots a lot, change in your pocket, keys, that it's not supposed to activate on. So it's much more sensitive in that regard. Yes, sir.
Anybody that has a joint replacement should have a card that they can flash when they come through.
That's true.
I carry one with me
I don't know.
all the time.
They didn't issue me one,
Yeah,
but
they give me one.
Did they not?
I got a lot of cars.
I've never set anything off with all my.
Mine hadn't either, but, I mean, they did issue me a card that says, hey, implant.
So just to refresh what I think I've heard, we could buy this equipment now at a 10% discount of what it would cost next year, but we can't use any
more
of
than-
this equipment until we put push bars on doors
Actually-
and build out platforms for the doors.
Okay, I'm gonna do two things to that question. More than 10%, up to 30%, and that's only on the main piece. The X-ray may still cost more than that, because we don't know how much it's gonna go up. They didn't get back to us in a timely fashion, so I couldn't have that prepared for today, I apologize. We could use it, we can't use it at every entrance. That's where, and that would be up to Sheriff how he wants to handle it, but if he had a full staff of, well, currently up to 4, if he had 4, he could wand people in the basement elevator, where you come in. And upstairs, yeah, we could still try to get people to go through the main door. Is it gonna solve everything? Absolutely not. It can't until all the other upgrades are done. Can it improve the situation? Yes, but it cannot fix it. If you'd like to add something to that, sir,
Well, I
please
think
do.
that's exactly, we can use it now, it won't be as effective because you can come in 8 different ways. There was some discussion, I think, at one point about handicap access, and that being the basement, and so there was talk of maybe putting a doorbell or something that would, the person wanting basement access would ring the doorbell, the deputy would meet them and wand them. Because, or you're left with buying two sets of body scanners, and I think the doorbell may be the elevator's locked, you ring the doorbell, the deputy meets you, wands you, and then you come up that way. Just looking for creative solutions, cause it's a problem.
Sorry, Mr. Sutton, you had a question?
If we decide to get this equipment,
Yes, sir.
when could we start, and how long would it take for that equipment to be set up?
I don't know the delivery dates, it didn't show that in the quote. My estimation, based on general knowledge on this, is it would probably be 2 to 3 months before we had the equipment and had it in place. It does include training, it does include calibration, all that's part of it, so this is a full package. It's not you've got a problem, well, that's gonna cost it. No, all the setup, everything working is included.
And I don't think, if I remember right, so the one we got at the jail required the state to give us a permit because of the radiation. I don't think this one has enough radiation exposure to require that permit. If I'm remembering right. Yeah.
I believe that's correct from reading it, but they do, still add that in the quote about the X-ray part, actually. Yes, ma'am?
You said it was coming out of the general fund.
It would have to, because we didn't budget for this in law enforcement. Please continue. Sorry.
Could it come out of hotel motel since it is the courthouse?
Actually, yes, it could.
Also 171, there's a couple $100,000 in that for capital projects.
Instead of using our,
There's options.
There are options. I'm just trying to make the point that it is not in an existing budget. And it's gonna have to come out of somewhere if we
Right.
choose to do it. Point is, it's gonna come out of somewhere when we choose to do it regardless. The point is, we didn't budget ahead because we weren't certain how far we were going, but as we're looking at the courthouse renovations, that's caused us to look at the additional things we need to do. And since, the quote had been done earlier, much earlier this year, I asked Mr. Purvis to go ahead and check and see if that quote was still good. You know, a lot of companies like changing around the first year, so he said, yeah, we're good, but we can't hold it for, you know, this isn't gonna be good in 3 months. This is now, and then we're looking at, you know, up to 30% increase on this, and that's just the main part.
I think I got the first quotes in January, and
yeah.
then he said last couple weeks ago, yeah, we'll honor them still, so that surprised me.
It did have to go out for bid though.
I'm sorry, I couldn't see.
I just wanna make sure it's clear that we can't go with this one vendor necessarily, it's out for bid.
Yeah.
Is there an option that people who can't be exposed to any radiation can do when they come to the door if they can't have, for health issues?
It would be the wand.
Okay, but you could request
yeah,
that?
Yeah. Now, your bag, would still run your bag through, if you had a bag
Yeah.
or whatever, would still be, it'd be the wand.
Mr. Wallow and Mr. Sutton.
Okay. Have you looked at your budget? I know fuel prices are down from where they were 8 months ago. Do you have any line items that are, you know, we're almost halfway through our fiscal year. Any line items we could move money from?
Not the full amount, it'd be smaller amounts, you know.
Small amounts
Yeah, I don't have enough to cover the whole thing, I guess is the answer. I could probably come up with a couple thousand here or there. So the line I'm thinking about is vehicle maintenance, and that's such a variable, because I don't know when the car's the transmission's gonna fall out, you know? But I could, there's money in there that we could probably pull a little bit from, but I wouldn't want to deplete it because I don't know when I'm gonna need it.
I have nothing to say, I was she wanted to say something.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
You said something about putting a nail down at the elevator, at the door in the basement.
I wouldn't wanna post somebody there. I think the idea was lock the elevator and put like a call box on it. And so when you could still get in the building out of the weather, so you're not standing out in the rain or snow.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Yeah, push the button and we'd get somebody to you.
What if you don't have anybody available for about 5 or 10 minutes?
Yeah.
That's again why we're saying that we can't get the full value out of this, admittedly, but we can get some value out of it, and we can start to make the courthouse more secure. Can we do everything with this? No, not like we'd like to. You're absolutely right. We're still gonna have, even if we purchase this and had it in place tomorrow, we would still have issues with being able to, you know, get downstairs and want somebody and having that security of restricting all the doors, because we can't, like I said, we can't restrict it. Ms. Jones says we can't restrict access to the elevators. It's just, we can restrict it, but we still have to provide that access. It's just going to be delayed in order for us to get them upstairs.
And as far as waiting goes, the people on the east side that are trying to get through using this, they're gonna have to wait, because if you've ever been through like security at the airport, everybody can't go through at once, you know, so everybody's gonna have to wait while they go through the scanner.
It's gonna be a learning curve anyway for the people, because when we have court times, people show up and expect to be able to walk in and sit down. That's not gonna happen anymore once we implement this. Yes, Mr. Savage?
Is the only benefit to the higher cost the longer warranty?
Primarily, yes. There is some more technology behind it, but I won't say that that's a driving factor from my standpoint after reading the tech specs. Is it better? Yeah. Is it night and day difference, or is it 20% difference? No, it isn't. Yes, ma'am.
The time frame on the whole package is unknown right now.
For receiving it, yes, ma'am, that's correct.
I'm talking about for the whole security.
For everything, it's unknown. So if we wanna push it out, we can, but I wouldn't be doing my due diligence if I didn't give you the opportunity to pay less today than what we'll pay. I mean, if we have all this other stuff done in a year from now, you know, we wouldn't have gotten any benefit out of it, and, you know, because we wouldn't have bought so fine. But our costs would probably, again, it's estimate, right? I mean, that's all they're gonna give us, but our costs would go from being around, 45,000 at the most, to probably being 55, 65. So, if we wanna, my way of looking at this is that difference, so 20,000, $10,000 to $20,000, is that worth having no increased security today, or do you want to benefit from that increased security today? That's the way I break it down logically and from a numbers standpoint. You're right, it's not gonna cover everything today, because we can't force everybody through one entrance. However, we can improve significantly. Most people obey the signs, most people, not everybody, go through that main door. Everybody doesn't, everybody won't. I understand that, so you're right, it's not gonna solve the problem, and we're at least a year out from being where we could do that. That is my expectation, that's a minimal.
That's a positive thinking there, that we're a year out. I'm guessing it's gonna be further out. And, technology could change. I just wonder if it's a year or two or three or whatever down the road before we get the whole package, if it's even worth buying, equipment now, because anybody up to no good, all of it may be smart enough to go to a different entrance,
Most people that go to a courthouse, and this is statistically, because I did look this up, I've forgotten the percentages, but most people are looking to go to a courthouse that are looking to do something wrong or running on emotions, not brain power, in the first place.
I have a question too.
National thing.
On your, talking about courthouse security, who all can carry in the courthouse?
District attorney, state prosecutors,
Uh-huh.
judges, law enforcement, so that means like your defense attorneys, cannot carry.
Defense attorneys cannot?
Defense attorneys can't, the state prosecutors can, the judges can. Commissioners,
If you have a permit.
I think if you have a permit, you can, but you can't, I don't think you can like say a commissioner went to General Sessions Court. I think they've got to be on official.
We have to be on duty,
Yeah.
on commission duty in order to carry.
And employees in the courthouse, are they allowed?
I think that's up to department heads. I don't think the law delineates that. I think that's up.
Probably best security.
I don't know the answer, just to be honest with you, but I think it would ultimately come down to the department heads.
Mr. Sutton?
I got two questions. It's so easy now to get a permit to carry. I'm John Q. Public. Yeah. So I can go get the permit, get my Glock, and I can come into the courthouse.
No.
Or will they would stop me at the door, even though I got the permit.
You cannot carry a gun on the court. Actually, it extends to knives.
Oh,
Yeah, no weapons is what it talks about. Yeah.
okay. Oh, you need to get my stuff in
The sign actually says active duty law enforcement.
Yeah. So like, if a guy, a deputy from Lincoln County is over here on his child support hearing or whatever, he's not supposed to have a weapon. He's supposed to be working. No, that means they're for court or whatever.
Okay, I'm through.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
So on the elevator, we all need to have it turned off so that the people, maybe on the second or third floor, until a sheriff opens it for them to get out,
Yeah.
so that somebody waiting can't just.
No, we would have to do, the details are to be determined.
Okay, I was just
But
wondering.
the intent would be that it would not be able to go to the basement from a call button downstairs.
Okay.
I think you can just lock the door, the opening, wait for somebody.
I just didn't know if
Yeah.
someone in a wheelchair on the third floor needed to go out, they would have to go to the basement, and then if someone was waiting, they could just.
So
And that's
Like the
still gonna be a
door
possibility,
thing.
just like the doors like we discussed earlier.
when you're in the county courtroom, like where you guys meet, that door opens on both sides, and we can lock that one, and that it will open out, so into the courtroom. And so I think the ability exists at least to do the same thing at the basement, just lock it.
The whole basement does have a key.
Where
You can actually leave the door open and lock it, so they do on weekends during farmers.
So they can't, you can still use the bathroom, the public bathroom down there, but you can't get into the courthouse.
John, would this right here just be in place during court days or every day?
Every day. Yeah. So if you come in and pay your taxes, you're walking through the scanner.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you say this price is good supposedly through January and then it'll go up, but it's gotta go out for bids,
Well, it's
so,
going to go out for bids, we've already said that, but I know with this vendor, that's what it is.
but it has to go out for bids, you can't
Well, actually,
buy from
it's
this
under-
vendor.
It's out
It's,
for bid.
it's out for bid.
Right, it's
now
been
anyway,
posted.
but technically, if it comes out under $50,000, I believe it's still something we didn't have to put out for bid.
15.
Right, but, so we can, as long as it's under that, we can not put out for bid.
Under
I
15,000.
thought it was 50, I thought we upped, or was that just for you?
Well, I'm not sure.
Because I know we upped yours, 50, so that's why I thought it was 50, but we still put it out to bid because it's close. So from my standpoint, I was looking at it that way, is we put it out for bid because it's close enough, it's worth putting out for bid. But I'm giving you the numbers of what I have right now. Is it already out? Yes. Would I love for it to come out lower? Yeah, and we're looking at that, so, and at this point, all we would be doing, should we do anything, is we would be sending it for, which I need to finish that. We started trying to get I started, it failed, and I need to stop for a minute. Board discussion can continue. I need to see if, on law enforcement, I get a first and second to even consider sending this to.
Do we have a motion with my next question?
Yes, sir. We had a first, I forgot, I believe you had a motion for it, and I didn't get a second. I got it, I did not. Shelley did, sorry. Okay, sorry. So I had, that's right, so I had the first and second for it, so yes, we had that. The motion was, I asked if I could get a motion for, sending this to the full commission for potentially going ahead and purchasing this equipment now, prior to the being able to fully execute it.
Dollar figure on it?
Yeah, the upper end was 45 and change. I've got is $45,382. So even if we're putting it out to bid, this should be, at most, that should be the highest bid we've got.
Up to.
Yes, sir, that's the point. Okay, sorry. I got four of you all over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go
I
ahead.
just wonder who made the motion.
She made the motion.
No, that was the approval.
Is that the minutes? Okay, then I apologize. That's what I thought I asked. I know I asked for it. I thought I had one first, but not a second.
I'd like to make a motion.
Thank you, sir.
I would like to make a motion to approve this and the
Grant,
budget.
when will the bid end?
That's perfectly fine. Thank you. Can I get a second for that? Thank you, sir. Second for a second.
Okay,
Gary, I believe you.
okay, thank you.
If we do everything we talked about doing this it still doesn't cover Tommy Hot Sauce at all. And we keep buying, purchasing and raising Texas Hill Salt and second.
I'm well aware of that, sir.
That's a good point.
Doesn't,
It's entirely accurate.
it still doesn't cover this.
No, sir, but this is a step towards it, and that's all we can, we gotta have a starting point. And you're right. Our courthouse having so many different entrances, it's some that just go to one area and you're done. Yeah, it's quite problematic. And we'll have to figure that out as we go along. This is just one step.
And that's why the marshal said 8 to 12 deputies. Like, think about it, that's more than I got on patrol any one day, for just that building.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Motion.
Yes.
Discussion.
Any further discussion? Okay, now let's go ahead and vote.
Roll call.
That's fine. Okay. This is to send it to the budget committee to determine how to pay for it. Okay, so, Shelley Goolsby,
Yes.
Rose Brown, which is not here, who's sitting in for Rose? Yes, sir.
Yes.
You? David Womble?
Yes.
Joyce Woodard?
Yeah.
Dale Jones?
No.
Ricky Carpenter?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well. So, we got 6 to 1.
Actually, I got one more.
Okay. So, it passes 6 to 1. So So we'll send it to the budget committee to determine how to pay for this. And,
We discussed the budget, right?
yeah, we can, yeah, we can bring it up under new business.
Like there's still one more.
Yes, sir.
So with this machine and everything, let's say Farmer Brown walks in, he's got some duct tape and some scissors and handcuffs, this will detect him.
The scissors and the handcuffs are okay,
Although he says he's meeting up with you later, I don't know.
yeah.
Carmen, you didn't know you were a serial killer, did you?
Among other things. You started
All right, so is there any unfinished business?
I've got one thing.
Yes, sir.
Joe, I know you told us you have half the staffing you really should have for our courthouse, but occasionally, I'm not complaining, but we walk in, we see 3 or 4 deputies sitting by the door not doing anything. They may be on a scheduled break, I don't know. My question is, during that time, if they do have downtime, could they walk to the annex and be present?
Yes, they do, they walk through the annex a couple times a day.
They do, I didn't know they did,
Yeah,
so I'm not in the annex.
Yeah, they do, they walk over there a couple times a day. Some days are worse than others, so like when there's days, a lot of times when you're seeing that, there's no court going on. So there's no child support court, no, chancery court, no criminal court, no.
It's a great time to go annex.
Yeah, yeah.
So I didn't know they were doing.
Sometimes they'll also come out and do control, like, get some civil papers.
I did have an announcement also.
Get to that in just a moment. Any new business?
Mr. Long, you got questions about 287G or?
I was gonna go, you said announcements, that's where I was going next.
So under new business, I just sent a picture, I read in the paper about potential grants for the 280G
Yes, sir.
project I sent to the chairman
Yes,
and
sir.
the sheriff, and we had a private discussion about it, not two commissioners, but the sheriff and I. And I thought he might wanna run through that in case y'all saw those grant options in the paper also, give us a little rundown of the 280G.
So we were one of the first first 10 sheriff's offices in Tennessee to sign on with 287G. That's a program that's been around since the Bill Clinton era. It's just an immigration enforcement, partnership with local government. We signed on in a very limited way. I think I talked to this body and others about it a couple of times. So the state, started their own division of immigration enforcement, and with that came a $5 million grant opportunity, $5 million statewide. They reached out to me, they asked me to apply. They said, what do you need? And I said that I could use a transport vehicle or van. Based on our numbers, being numbers of people processed on immigration detention, I think we're at 2 for the calendar year. Our numbers don't really qualify us for any grant funds. Now, if we were to do roundup operations or other enforcement operations, we could potentially apply for some grant funding, but I don't have enough deputies to answer the calls for service I got no interest in roundups, just to be honest with you. I don't wanna divert resources to that, when I can't answer the radio calls that people have called, so that's where I'm at.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll entertain a motion to
Got
adjourn.
one announcement, we're gonna announce this in full court, nothing earth shattering here. But in January, I'm gonna ask all committee chairmans to call a meeting, and in that meeting, I want a mid-year budget review. Just like I was asking Joe, if there was anywhere in his budget we could move money around to pay for these scanners, instead of not looking at it again till the end of the year, I wanna see all of us do a mid-year budget review of every committee that has a budget that has attached to it. Obviously insurance doesn't, but, so, just keep that in mind. And I'll ask the financial director to get those numbers together for us for January.
Okay, you have a motion to adjourn? First, second,
Thanks for the short meeting.
third, fourth.